A centuries-old ship followed them slowly despite having no sails. Captain Mara Vey stood on the bridge, arms crossed, her eyes scanning the endless void ahead. The crew had grown used to the monotony of survey missions, yet today something felt different. A faint disturbance rippled through the ship's sensors, subtle enough that some might have dismissed it, but Mara noticed immediately. "Commander Talos," she called, voice steady. "Check the rear sensor array. I think we might have company." Lieutenant Aaron Talos, the ship's second-in-command, turned sharply, his brow furrowed. "I'm running a sweep now, Captain. Initial readings are unusual. There's a large mass trailing us, but it's not showing any known propulsion signature." The bridge fell silent. The hum of the ship's system seemed louder than usual. Myra felt a chill crawl up her spine. A ship with no propulsion. That should have been impossible. Yet the readings were clear, something massive following them, moving in perfect harmony with their course and speed. "Show it on the main display," Mara ordered. The holographic screen flickered to life, revealing a dark shape drifting slowly behind them. Its edges were jagged, worn, and corroded, yet the form was unmistakable, a ship. "By the Council," whispered Talos. "It looks ancient. Maybe centuries old." Mara's gaze sharpened. Humanity had ventured far into space, but nothing of this age should still be intact. Most early human exploration ships had decayed long ago, abandoned relics of an era when humanity's reach barely extended past the solar system. Yet here it was, gliding silently behind them, perfectly intact, with no sails, no engines, no thrusters. It simply followed. "Distance?" Mara asked. "Approximately 20 kilometers," Talos replied. "It's closing slowly but not aggressively. It's like it's waiting." "Waiting for what?" muttered Dr. Lyra Chen, the ship's chief scientist. She leaned forward, peering at the display. "Captain, the energy readings are faint but unusual. There's a subtle temporal distortion around it. Time itself seems altered near the ship." Mara's stomach twisted. Temporal distortion. That was the kind of thing theorists speculated about but rarely encountered. If true, this ship was more than old, it was almost unnatural. "Helm," Mara said, her voice firm. "Maintain course. Keep a safe distance, but do not attempt evasive maneuvers unless necessary. I want a full scan, top to bottom." The crew obeyed, their fingers flying over controls as the horizon adjusted course slightly. Sensors traced the outline of the trailing vessel. Its hull bore markings that resembled early human design, arches, exposed modules, and faded insignias. Yet the style was alien in its elegance, not something any current fleet produced. "Could it be a ghost ship?" whispered Ensign Rico, the youngest on the crew. His voice trembled despite his effort to sound curious rather than scared. Mara shot him a stern look. "We deal in facts, Ensign. Ghosts don't appear on sensor arrays." Rico swallowed hard. "Yes, ma'am." "Dr. Chen," Mara continued, "prepare a theoretical analysis. If this is a relic of the first space age, it may carry technology or knowledge that was lost centuries ago. We need to understand it before we make contact, if contact is even possible." Chen nodded, her fingers moving quickly over her console. Streams of data flickered on the screen as she analyzed energy signatures, hull composition, and faint electromagnetic pulses that the ancient ship emitted. "This is remarkable," Chen murmured. "The hull seems to self-repair at a molecular level. Minor corrosion is corrected almost immediately. Whoever built this, they had technology far beyond our current capabilities. It's like it's alive in a way." Talos frowned. "Alive? It's a ship, Chen. Ships don't live." "Most ships don't," Chen replied, not taking her eyes from the screen. "But this one, it might. The energy fluctuations suggest it has a form of self-awareness. It's adapting to our movements, predicting them." Mara leaned back in her chair, her mind racing. An ancient human ship, centuries old, following them like a patient observer, adapting to their every maneuver. Why, and for what purpose? Suddenly, the display flickered. A faint outline appeared, projected against the hull of the mysterious vessel. It was humanoid, translucent, flickering like a broken hologram. The crew froze. "What the?" Talos began, but Mara raised a hand. "Don't panic," she said. "Keep observing, analyze." The figure moved slowly, gliding along the interior of the ancient ship. Its shape was unmistakably human, yet different. Its posture was stiff, almost ceremonial, and its features blurred like an old photograph. Then it spoke. Protect humanity, wait." The words were fragmented, distorted by time and interference. But the meaning was clear. The ship or its crew had one purpose, to protect humanity. Mara's pulse quickened. Talos, record everything. Chen, can you trace the source of that signal? Chen worked furiously, her brow furrowed. It's difficult. The signal is intertwined with the ship's energy field. Almost symbiotic, whoever built it encoded their message directly into the vessel's structure. I can isolate fragments, but it's going to take time. Time we may not have, Mara said. She stared at the slowly approaching ship. It had not accelerated, not made any aggressive move, yet its presence was unnerving. It moved like a shadow, relentless and patient. Captain, Rico said quietly, why does it feel familiar? Mara's eyes narrowed. Because it is, look at the design. The arches, the hull, early human architecture. Whoever made this ship is part of our history, part of our past, maybe even our ancestors. A murmur of astonishment ran through the bridge. The idea was astonishing. Humans had always wondered what had happened to the first explorers who left the solar system centuries ago. Many had vanished without a trace. Perhaps, Mara thought, this ship was one of those lost vessels. Perhaps it had been following humanity all along, waiting for the right moment to appear. The horizon approached a narrow asteroid belt, jagged rocks floating silently in space. It was a dangerous stretch. Many ships had been damaged trying to navigate it. Mara gripped the armrest of her chair. Hold steady, sensors active. We'll see if this Guardian follows us through the field. The ancient ship glided forward, effortlessly moving among the asteroids, twisting and turning without a sound. The Horizon's engines strained to maintain course, dodging massive rocks, while the other vessel adjusted with uncanny precision. It was as if the ship knew every move before it happened. Impossible, muttered Talos. There's no way it's calculating trajectories this fast. Not without an AI or something else. Something else, Mara repeated softly. The notion made her uneasy. But unease was not fear, not yet. She had faced danger before. What they were encountering now was different. An enigma, a puzzle from humanity's past. Chen's console beeped urgently. Captain, I'm detecting life signs inside the ship. Very faint, almost dormant, but they are human, alive, or in suspended animation. The bridge went silent. Talos whispered, centuries, humans, alive for centuries. Mara's jaw tightened. It seems so, but why? And why now? Before anyone could answer, the ancient ship projected another holographic figure, this time more defined. She wore a uniform that mirrored early human designs, her expression stern but calm. Her voice, though broken, carried authority. Guard, protect, humanity, threats approach, knowledge preserved, wait for children of the stars. The words were cryptic, but their meaning was slowly becoming clear. The ship was not hostile. It had a mission tied to humanity itself. Mara turned to her crew. Prepare for boarding protocols. We're not making contact yet. Observation first. I want to know everything about that vessel before we step anywhere near it, but mark my words, this ship is important, more than any discovery we've ever made. Rico looked wide-eyed. Captain, it's like it's been waiting for us. Mara nodded. Exactly, and now that it has found us, it's only a matter of time before we understand why. The Horizon moved cautiously, following the ancient ship through the asteroid belt. Sensors and scanners buzzed continuously, capturing every movement, every faint energy fluctuation. The sense of anticipation was almost unbearable. Every crew member felt it, the knowledge that humanity's history, its long-forgotten past, and possibly its future, were unfolding right before them. As the two ships emerged from the asteroid field, the ancient vessel remained behind, gliding slowly, almost respectfully. It was patient, unhurried, as if it understood the limits of human fear and curiosity. Mara let out a slow breath. We will follow it carefully, we will learn from it, and we will be ready for whatever comes next. In the silent expanse of space, a centuries-old ship drifted patiently, following the horizon. It had no sails, no engines, yet it moved with purpose, guarding secrets older than any star in the sky. Humanity had found its past, and perhaps its future. The crew of the Horizon did not yet know the truth. They did not know that the ship would lead them to discoveries that could change humanity forever. But one thing was certain, their journey had become far more than a simple survey mission. As the Horizon glided forward, the ancient ship behind it, Mara whispered almost to herself, we are not alone in our own history. And that is a power worth understanding. The Horizon moved cautiously through the outer reaches of the Urandor system, every sensor tuned to the centuries-old ship that followed them. Captain Mara Vey remained on the bridge, her hands lightly gripping the railing as she observed the vessel drifting silently behind them. There was something almost intelligent about its movements, a patience that unnerved the crew. Lieutenant Talos adjusted the ship's trajectory, weaving through an asteroid cluster. The Horizon's engines hummed under strain, maneuvering around massive rocks with precision. Behind them, the ancient ship mirrored their every move effortlessly, sliding through the asteroid field as if gravity and obstacles meant nothing to it. Every sensor reading shows no propulsion, yet it matches our speed perfectly, Talos said, frustration clear in his voice. It's impossible. Nothing about this is simple, Myra replied. She didn't take her eyes off the display. The ghostly silhouette of the ship seemed to grow clearer in the light of nearby stars. Its hull was scarred and pitted, evidence of centuries in space, yet it glided without resistance. Dr. Lyra Chen tapped furiously at her console. Captain, I think I'm beginning to understand. Its movement isn't mechanical. It's responding to our ship in real time, but not through conventional propulsion. It's almost aware of us, almost alive. Talos shook his head. A ship can't be alive, Chen, that's science fiction. Perhaps, Chen said softly, her eyes still glued to the readings. But we're looking at something that operates on principles we barely understand. It may have a form of intelligence encoded directly into its systems. I can't explain it, but it's calculating trajectories and adapting faster than any AI we have. Mara's jaw tightened. The implications were staggering. If the ship truly had a level of intelligence, it wasn't just following them. It was observing, learning, and perhaps evaluating them. Captain, Rico whispered, eyes wide, why does it feel like it's waiting for us? Like it knows what we'll do before we do it. Mara did not answer immediately. She had felt the same, a subtle tension in the air that made the crew uneasy. Finally, she said, because it is. That ship has been following humanity for centuries. It's patient and it knows we are its heirs. We are the reason it exists. Rico blinked. Heirs? Yes, Mara said. It was built by humans long before us. We don't know why yet, but it has a mission tied to humanity, maybe to protect us, maybe to test us. Either way, it's connected to our history in ways we can't imagine. The Horizon's sensors beeped urgently, drawing the crew's attention. The ancient ship had suddenly accelerated slightly, not in pursuit, but as if trying to signal them. A faint energy pulse emanated from it, subtle but distinct. Dr. Chen leaned closer to her console, scanning. I'm detecting a quantum pulse, she said. It's a communication attempt. If I'm correct, it's sending information encoded in a way that can only be interpreted with the right algorithm. And I think it's meant for us. Mara felt a surge of excitement. Then we respond. Talos, prepare the quantum array. We'll send a pulse back, carefully. And keep it brief. We don't know what else it can do. As the crew worked to decode the signal and prepare a response, the ship continued to follow them silently. It didn't approach aggressively. It didn't retreat. It simply moved with them, a shadow that would not let go. Captain, Chen said finally, I can interpret part of the message. It's fragmented, but the meaning is clear. Protect, humanity, knowledge preserved, wait for children of the stars. Talos furrowed his brow. Children of the stars. It seems to refer to us, Mara said, her mind racing. We are the descendants of the first humans who ventured into space. This ship has been waiting for the right generation to receive its message. Rico shivered. So it's friendly? Mara shook her head slightly. Friendly is relative. It may help us or it may test us. Either way, we need to proceed carefully. I want full observation first. We're not boarding or making physical contact yet. The Horizon pressed forward, leaving the asteroid belt behind. The ship followed with perfect patience, gliding through the void as though it had all the time in the universe. Myra could feel the tension on the bridge. The crew was both terrified and fascinated. Suddenly, the ship projected another holographic figure. This one was clearer, more defined than before. She appeared as a human woman in early exploration attire, her face calm and stern. She did not speak immediately, but her presence was commanding. She's trying to communicate, Chen said. It's more sophisticated than I expected. The projection is linked directly to the quantum pulses. If we interpret them correctly, we can understand her. Mara leaned forward. Then we try, carefully, begin decoding the pulse and initiate a response sequence. The crew worked feverishly, their fingers flying over consoles as the holographic figure remained suspended in the air, watching. A faint hum filled the bridge, not from the horizon, but from the energy around the ancient ship. The air seemed to vibrate with the pulse of centuries-old technology. Finally, the response pulse was ready. Mara gave the order to transmit. The hologram flickered, shifted slightly, and then, in a voice that resonated through the bridge, the figure spoke. "Children of stars, protect, knowledge, survive, danger approaches." The words were slow, fragmented, and heavy with meaning. Mara repeated them silently, trying to grasp the weight behind them. This was not just a warning. It was a mission handed down through centuries, encoded in a ship that had drifted silently through the stars, waiting for the right humans to awaken it. Talos leaned closer to the display. "Captain, look, it's moving closer, not fast, just closer. But it's aligning with us, almost like it's inviting us to follow." Mara nodded. "Prepare the long-range scanners. I want to track any patterns, energy fluctuations, or hidden compartments. We're going to learn everything about this ship before we make any further decisions." Chen's console beeped. "Captain, there's something else. Life signs, very faint but human. There's a chamber deep within that ship, and it seems to contain people. Or at least their biological signatures are active, but in suspended states, perhaps preserved for centuries." The crew exchanged stunned looks. Suspended humans, preserved for centuries. The implications were staggering. This was not just a relic, it was a vault of humanity itself. "Captain," Rico whispered, voice trembling, "they've been waiting for us to find them." Mara remained silent for a moment, staring at the projection of the ancient woman. The ship had drifted through space for centuries, carrying knowledge, technology, and human lives. And now it had found the horizon. It had found them. "We're not just observers anymore," Mara said finally. "We are participants. This ship is a bridge to our past and perhaps to our future. We have to be careful, but we also have to learn." As the horizon edged closer, the ancient ship seemed to respond, its energy field pulsing softly. The hum around them intensified, resonating with the pulse of the quantum communication. It was as if the ship itself was aware of the humans inside the horizon, evaluating their reactions, testing their intentions. Mara turned to Talos. "Keep the engine steady, maintain distance. I want no sudden movements. Let's see what it does next." The projection shifted, showing a faint map of a derelict planet. The images were fragmented but clear enough to show ruins and structures that resembled early human colonies. The ship was guiding them, pointing to a location. Chen gasped. "Captain, this planet, it's uncharted." But the structures, they matched designs from the first space age. "They're human. Someone lived here long before us." Mara's heart raced. "Prepare for a distant scan. I want full readings of the surface. If the ship wants us to investigate, we need to know what we're dealing with before we land or approach." As the horizon moved into position, the crew prepared themselves for the unknown. The sense of anticipation was almost unbearable. Every moment felt heavy with the weight of centuries of lost human history waiting to be rediscovered. Rico looked out the viewport, eyes wide. "Captain, it's beautiful and terrifying." Mara nodded silently. "Yes, but this is why we explore. This is why we venture into the stars, to find our past, to understand ourselves, and perhaps to save humanity from repeating the mistakes of those who came before." The horizon's sensors began to map the planet below, revealing sprawling ruins and dormant machinery. The ancient ship hovered behind, patient and silent, as if urging them forward without words. Mara allowed herself a brief smile. "We're ready," she said. "We'll follow it, carefully, and we'll learn everything it has to teach us." The ship continued to move, its slow, deliberate pace keeping just out of reach, like a shadow that had waited centuries to be seen. Humanity's curiosity, courage, and ingenuity were about to meet the legacy of their ancestors, and the journey was only beginning. The crew of the Horizon did not yet know what awaited them on the derelict planet, nor did they understand the full purpose of the centuries-old ship. But one truth had become clear. The past had returned to guide them, and humanity's next steps would be shaped by what they discovered. In the silent void, the two ships drifted together, one ancient and patient, the other curious and alive with human determination. And as the stars shimmered around them, the sense of destiny weighed heavily on every member of the Horizon. The centuries-old ship was no longer just a shadow, it was a path forward, a reminder that humanity's story was far from over. The Horizon hovered over the derelict planet, its engines humming softly as the crew studied the ruins below. The ancient ship remained nearby, a silent guardian, its hull reflecting faint starlight as it drifted effortlessly. Every member of the Horizon crew felt the weight of history pressing down on them. The ruins were unlike anything they had seen, massive structures, some intact, others crumbling, all bearing the unmistakable marks of human design. "Captain," Chen said, pointing at the scanner display, "these structures are consistent with early human colonies. But the technology is far advanced. Energy signatures suggest active systems, but dormant. It's as if the city is asleep." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Dormant but not dead. Keep scanning. We need to know what's down there before we land." Rico pressed a hand to the viewport. "Captain, it's enormous. This city, or whatever it was, it could have held thousands of people." "Exactly," Mara said, "and some of them may still be alive in some form." Talos looked uneasy. "Suspended, like Dr. Chen said, for centuries?" "Yes," Chen confirmed. "And this ship, the one behind us, it may be the key to awakening them." Mara nodded. "Then we proceed with caution, prepare the landing craft. We'll deploy a small team first. No unnecessary risk." The Horizon lowered a sleek shuttle toward the surface. Mara, Talos, Chen, and Rico were chosen for the first expedition. As the shuttle descended, the planet's surface grew clearer. The ruins stretched as far as the eye could see, massive towers and domes scarred by time but still standing. Strange energy conduits crisscrossed the terrain, faintly glowing under the shuttle's scanning lights. Chen's voice broke the silence. "Captain, there are faint life signs, multiple readings. They're human, suspended just as we suspected." Mara leaned forward. "Prepare for recovery protocols. We'll need to handle them carefully. The slightest error could be catastrophic." The shuttle touched down on a flat expanse near one of the largest structures. The airlocks hissed as the team disembarked, their boots crunching on the dusty ground. The planet's gravity was slightly weaker than Earth's, making every movement feel light and deliberate. The ruins were eerily quiet, yet the energy readings suggested activity beneath the surface. Talos gestured toward the massive structure ahead. "That looks like the main chamber. If anyone is alive, it would be there." Chen activated her scanning device, sweeping the area. "Captain, the energy signals are concentrated in that dome. It's a preservation chamber of some kind. Life support systems are ancient but intact." "Whoever built this, they planned for centuries of dormancy." Mara nodded. "Then that's our destination. Let's move carefully. We don't know what security systems may still be active." The team entered the dome, their lights cutting through the darkness. Dust motes floated in the air, disturbed by their movement. The interior was massive, lined with rows of cylindrical pods, each connected to a network of energy conduits. Inside the pods, human forms lay suspended, perfectly preserved. The sight was both beautiful and haunting. "These are humans," Rico whispered, voice trembling. "Alive after all this time." "Yes," Mara said softly, "and they are ours, ancestors perhaps, guardians of lost knowledge. We must be careful." Chen moved closer to the pods, scanning them. "The preservation systems are still functional, but they are delicate. Any sudden power surge could destabilize them. I need to interface with the control panel here. The ancient ship may assist us. It seems to understand these systems in ways we don't." Mara nodded. "Do it, but proceed cautiously. Talos and I will monitor the perimeter." Chen activated the interface. The holographic panel flickered to life, displaying ancient symbols alongside diagrams of the suspended humans. As she worked, the ancient ship outside responded. A soft pulse of energy emanated from it, resonating through the planet and into the dome. The conduits within the chamber glowed brighter, reacting to the ship's signal. "It's communicating with the preservation systems," Chen said, awe in her voice. "It knows how to maintain them. It may even know how to awaken them safely." Mara felt a thrill of hope. After centuries of isolation, humanity's past was about to return. "Do it," she said firmly. "Bring them back." Chen manipulated the controls carefully, using the energy pulses from the ship to stabilize the systems. Slowly, the pods began to open, one by one. The suspended humans stirred, their eyes blinking as they awakened from centuries-long dormancy. Some sat up, disoriented but alive. Others moved with surprising grace, as though their bodies remembered movement despite the long suspension. The team watched in astonishment. These humans were not frail or weakened by time. They were strong, resilient, and intelligent. They looked at the Horizon crew with curiosity, and Mara felt a profound sense of connection. Humanity had endured. Somehow, against all odds, it had survived. One of the awakened humans approached, speaking in an ancient dialect. Chen's translator picked up the words and converted them into the crew's language. "Who are you?" the human asked, voice calm but commanding. Mara stepped forward. "I am Captain Mara Vey of the Horizon. We are descendants of humanity, exploring the stars. Who are you?" The human studied them, eyes sharp and calculating. "We are the first children of the stars. We were sent to preserve knowledge, to wait for the time when humanity would need guidance again. And now, that time has come." Talos exchanged a glance with Mara. "Guidance," he whispered. The human nodded. "Yes, we were the pioneers, the builders of civilizations across the stars. We foresaw dangers, cosmic threats, internal conflicts, the loss of knowledge. We created the preservation systems, and this ship, it followed humanity, waiting for the right moment to reveal us and our knowledge." Mara felt a chill run down her spine. The centuries-old ship, the one that had followed them, was not merely a relic. It was a sentinel, a guardian built by humans long before them, ensuring the survival and growth of their species. Rico stepped closer to one of the awakened humans. "But why us? Why now?" The human's eyes softened. "Because you are ready. Humanity has reached a point where knowledge alone is not enough. Courage, ingenuity, and compassion must guide your actions. The ship chose you because you embody these traits. You will learn from us, and together you will face what comes next." Chen looked around at the pods, some still dormant. "How many are there?" "Thousands," the human replied. "We seeded colonies across this system. Some survived, some did not. Those who remained in stasis are now awakening. You will see the full extent soon." Myra's mind raced. The implications were staggering. These humans, preserved for centuries, carried knowledge and experience far beyond anything the Horizon crew had ever encountered. And the ship, their silent guardian, had ensured that they survived to guide the next generation. Talos stepped forward, voice cautious. "Captain, what about threats? Are there dangers we need to know about?" The human's expression darkened. "Yes, there are always dangers. Some arise from within, others from beyond the stars. That is why we preserved ourselves and built the ship. You are safe now, but not for long. You must prepare." Mara nodded. "Then we will learn. We will work together." The awakened humans began to explore the dome, interacting with the Horizon crew. They were curious but disciplined, moving with purpose and precision. Some began examining the Horizon's technology, marveling at the advancements humanity had made since their time. Others studied the ancient preservation systems, ensuring they were stable and fully functional. Chen moved between the pods, awe on her face. "Captain, their technology is incredible. Energy systems, propulsion designs, even medical devices. We could learn centuries of advancements in days if we study carefully." Mara smiled faintly. "And we will. But first, we must ensure they are fully integrated and stable. We cannot rush. Patience is essential." Outside, the centuries-old ship pulsed softly, responding to the activity within the dome. Its energy seemed to synchronize with the awakening humans, a silent confirmation that its mission was proceeding as intended. It had waited patiently for centuries, and now humanity's past and present were converging. Rico whispered, "Captain, it's beautiful, all of this. It's like history is alive." Mara placed a hand on his shoulder. "Yes, Rico, and we are part of it now. We carry the legacy forward. That is why we explore, why we endure. Humanity is never truly lost, and now we are stronger than ever before." The Horizon crew worked alongside the awakened humans, learning from them, sharing knowledge and preparing for the challenges that lay ahead. The derelict planet, once a silent grave of a forgotten colony, now buzzed with life and energy. The centuries-old ship continued to hover nearby, a steadfast guardian, ensuring the safety and guidance of those it had waited for. Mara stood on the shuttle's ramp, gazing at the ancient ship. "We are ready," she whispered. "Ready to learn, ready to face whatever comes next. Humanity's future begins now, with the past as our guide." And in the silent expanse of space, two generations of humanity, one preserved for centuries, the other forging boldly into the unknown, stood together. The ship that had followed them patiently, for centuries without sails or engines, had fulfilled its purpose. It had brought humanity face to face with its own history, its own legacy, and the promise of a future shaped by courage, ingenuity, and unity. The derelict planet, once a forgotten outpost, had become a bridge between the past and the present. And as the Horizon prepared to leave, carrying knowledge, allies, and hope, the centuries-old ship glided silently behind, ready to continue its eternal vigil, guiding humanity toward the stars. The Horizon hovered above the derelict planet, now alive with the energy of awakened. Humans and the crew working side by side. The centuries-old ship glided silently nearby, a patient sentinel that had fulfilled its centuries-long mission of guiding humanity to its past and its future. Yet despite the calm, a subtle tension lingered in the air. Mara could feel it, a quiet warning that all was not yet safe. "Captain," Talos said, his voice tight with unease, "the planet's energy grids are fluctuating. It's not the preservation systems, something else is activating." Mara frowned. "Show me." Chen brought up the scans. "It appears the planetary defense systems, automated weapons arrays, and energy shields are coming online. They've been dormant for centuries, but the sudden activation suggests someone, or something, is triggering them. Perhaps these systems perceive the reawakening humans and the Horizon as intruders." Mara's jaw tightened. "Prepare defensive measures. We are here to learn, not to provoke, but we cannot risk the lives of our crew or these awakened humans." Talos positioned the Horizon in orbit for optimal shield coverage. Rico glanced nervously at the viewport. "Captain, the defense systems, they're massive, and they're not just weapons. They're designed to seal the planet, to quarantine or destroy everything inside." Mara took a deep breath. "We adapt. That is what humans do. We protect, we survive, and we find a way forward." Outside, the centuries-old ship pulsed with energy, sensing the danger. Its soft glow intensified, casting pale light across the planet's surface. The crew could feel its presence, watchful, protective, almost alive. It had waited centuries for this moment, and now its patience would be tested. Chen interfaced with the defense arrays, her hands moving rapidly over the ancient controls. "Captain, the systems are old, but they are connected. I can access the primary control nodes, but it's risky. A misstep could trigger planetary annihilation." Mara nodded. "Then we do it carefully. I want every human awake and accounted for. Everyone must follow instructions. This is not a battle we can afford to lose." The Horizon deployed shuttles to strategic positions around the planet, forming a protective perimeter. The awakened humans moved with precision, some working with Chen to stabilize the defense systems, others coordinating with the Horizon crew to monitor energy fluctuations. Suddenly, one of the energy arrays surged, sending a pulse that rocked the ground. The pods containing humans rattled slightly, and Mara's heart raced. "Steady," she shouted. "Maintain focus. Chen, can you counteract it?" Chen's fingers flew over the interface. "I'm rerouting power, redirecting the arrays, almost there." The ancient ship responded, emitting a wave of energy that stabilized the planet's systems. The pulse softened, and the arrays paused in their surge. Mara exhaled slowly. The centuries-old ship had intervened without command, using its advanced technology to shield both the Horizon and the awakened humans. Talos shook his head in awe. "It's incredible. It's protecting us without us even asking." Mara's eyes remained on the viewport. "It's more than protection. It's guidance. It knows what we need to survive, and it has been preparing us for this moment." The defense systems began to reactivate more slowly, responding to the combined efforts of Chen and the awakened humans. They discovered that the systems were not purely aggressive. They were programmed to differentiate between intruders and allies. With careful manipulation, they could recalibrate the arrays to recognize the Horizon and the newly awakened humans as friendly. "Captain," Chen said finally, relief in her voice, "the arrays are stabilizing. The planet's defenses are no longer a threat. We've recalibrated them to protect, not attack." Mara nodded. "Excellent. Prepare to land. We need to explore the main control hub and ensure no other systems remain dangerous." The Horizon descended, landing near the central hub of the ancient city. Mara, Talos, Chen, and a team of awakened humans stepped onto the surface. The city was vast, filled with structures that had survived centuries, powered by ancient but functional energy conduits. The atmosphere was quiet, almost reverent, as though the planet itself acknowledged the convergence of past and present. The team approached the central control tower. Inside, massive consoles displayed planetary systems, energy grids, and historical records of the ancient human civilization. Holographic archives projected floating images of past explorers, engineers, and scientists, documenting their work, their discoveries, and the reasons for their long preservation. One of the awakened humans, a woman named Elira, stepped forward. "This is the heart of our civilization," she explained. "Through these systems, we maintained stability, preserved life, and safeguarded knowledge, and now it is your turn to carry it forward." Mara looked around, awed by the scale of human achievement. "This is incredible. The technology, the knowledge, the foresight. You built all of this knowing that we might one day return." Elira nodded. "We did. Humanity's survival was never guaranteed, but we believed in your resilience, your curiosity, and your courage. That is why the ship followed you. It waited for the right moment, for the right generation to awaken us and ensure the continuation of human civilization." Rico whispered, "We are standing on the shoulders of giants, centuries of giants." Talos smiled faintly. "And now it's our responsibility. We have to live up to their legacy." Chen approached one of the archives, her eyes scanning the information. "Captain, this technology is beyond anything we have now. Energy systems that could power entire colonies, propulsion designs capable of interstellar travel faster than light, medical technology that could extend life and prevent disease. We could advance humanity centuries in a single year if we study this carefully." Mara nodded. "Then we will, but wisely. Knowledge is powerful, but it must be guided by wisdom. We cannot repeat the mistakes that came before." As the team explored the city, an alert suddenly blared across the horizon. Talos rushed to the comms console. "Captain, sensors are picking up an approaching fleet, small ships heavily armed. They're coming fast, heading straight for the planet. It looks like pirates or worse, raiders from beyond the system." Mara's eyes narrowed. "Then we prepare. Activate the planetary defense systems fully and ready the horizon for combat support. We protect this planet, these humans, and the knowledge they carry." Outside, the ancient ship pulsed with energy again, responding to the imminent threat. Its presence alone was imposing, but it also coordinated with the planetary defenses, creating a protective barrier around the city. The raiders' ships approached, weapons charging, unaware that the planet's defenses were now fully operational and aligned with the Horizon crew and the awakened humans. "Captain," Chen said, "the defense systems are primed. They can neutralize threats without destroying the planet, but we'll need strategy. The raiders outnumber us." Mara's jaw tightened. "Then we use ingenuity. We fight smart, not just hard. Talos coordinate the horizon and the shuttles for rapid strikes. Rico assist the awakened humans with tactical deployment. Chen maintain control of the planetary systems." The battle began. The raiders' ships fired upon the city, but their weapons were deflected by the synchronized energy shields. The Horizon launched shuttles, maneuvering with precision, while the awakened humans directed automated defense turrets. The centuries-old ship glowed with increasing intensity, generating energy pulses that disrupted the raiders' targeting systems and caused their formations to falter. Mara stood on the bridge of the Horizon, issuing orders. "Focus fire on their propulsion systems. Disable, don't destroy. We want them incapacitated, not annihilated. Humanity doesn't fight blindly." The strategy worked. Raider ships began to falter, engines crippled by precise strikes, their formations broken. The planet's automated defenses, guided by the Horizon crew and the awakened humans, corralled the enemy forces into traps, neutralizing them one by one. Talos grinned. "Captain, they're retreating. The fleet is falling apart." Mara allowed herself a brief smile. "Good. Maintain pressure, but keep them from destroying the planet. Focus on control and precision. Humanity survives, and we do not sacrifice what is valuable." The raiders finally fled, leaving the planet and the city untouched. The Horizon crew, alongside the awakened humans, had defended the legacy of their ancestors with intelligence, courage, and unity. The centuries-old ship glided nearby, its energy pulses calming, a silent acknowledgement of a mission completed. Mara stepped onto the surface, breathing in the faint scent of the planet's atmosphere. She watched the city, alive with activity, and the humans who had awakened from centuries of slumber. Their presence was proof of resilience, ingenuity, and foresight. Elira approached her. "You have proven yourselves worthy, Captain. Humanity has been given another chance, and you have protected it. The ship has fulfilled its purpose." Mara nodded. "Not just the ship, all of us. Together we have preserved the past and ensured the future. Now it is our responsibility to carry this knowledge forward, to explore, to grow, and to protect humanity wherever it may go. The horizon and the ancient ship hovered together, a symbol of past and present united. The awakened humans began to integrate with the crew, sharing knowledge and skills, planning the next phase of exploration. Humanity was stronger now, guided by the wisdom of its ancestors and the courage of the living. As night fell over the planet, Mara looked up at the stars. The centuries-old ship glowed softly, a reminder that patience, foresight, and guidance could span generations. Humanity had faced threats before, and it had survived. Now it would rise again, stronger and wiser, ready to meet the challenges of the universe. The horizon prepared to leave orbit, carrying knowledge, allies, and hope. The centuries-old ship followed silently, not as a threat, but as a guardian and guide. Humanity's story was far from over, and the stars awaited their next steps. Mara whispered almost to herself, "We have learned from the past, protected the present, and now we step boldly into the future. Humanity endures and thrives." In the endless expanse of space, the horizon and its crew, alongside the awakened humans, moved forward together. The centuries-old ship glided behind them, a testament to patience, intelligence, and the enduring power of humanity. The legacy of the past had been preserved, and the promise of the future shone brighter than ever. And as the stars stretched infinitely around them, humanity's journey continued, fearless, curious, and unstoppable. The ancient ship had followed them slowly for centuries, but now, its purpose complete, it remained a silent guardian, watching as humanity took its next great steps among the stars. A centuries-old ship followed them slowly despite having no sails.